Welcome, Power Learners! Today we're going to make water rise by simply covering a candle with a glass cup, as you can see in our picture. So now, let's begin.
For this experiment, you need a glass cup, a match and a matchbox, a candle, and a shallow dish filled with water with food coloring the colors your choice. So now, let's begin. So the first thing you need to do, as you see we've already done, is place your candle in the water. Do it carefully, and once the candle is stable, ask your parent to light the candle for you. Then, take your cup and place it over the candle. Then, watch what happens. As you can see, once the flame extinguishes, the water fills the cup. So now let's talk about why this happens.
So now we're going to talk about how our experiment works. So these blue dots represent air molecules. So I've only represented it in a small area so we can talk about just this small area for now. Obviously there's going to be air molecules everywhere, but again, we're just going to show this one area. So air molecules, we're going to assume the air molecules look like this before we do anything to it. But then when we add our candle and our cup, the air inside the jar is going to heat up. And when air molecules heat up, the first thing they're going to do is spread out. As you can see, the air molecules are more spread out than they were in our last picture. So when they spread out, air molecules need more room. So because they need more room, they're going to leave the bottom of the jar because they are expanding. But then our candle goes out. As soon as it goes out, the air molecules inside the jar is going to cool down. And like how when air molecules are heated, they expand, when they cool down, they're going to contract or move closer together. When they move closer together, they're going to create a sort of vacuum. They're going to try to pull molecules out from outside inside so that the air molecules inside and outside the jar have reached an equilibrium, which means that both the density of air molecules on both sides are equal. So I've put a few air molecules closer to the jar. Again, there's going to be a lot of air molecules everywhere, but I'm only going to show you the amount of air molecules that we need to understand our experiment. So when this weak vacuum is being created, the air is going to enter inside the jar. And when this happens, it's going to pull the water with it until the air molecules inside the jar and outside the jar have reached an equilibrium. That is when the water stops rising, once the equilibrium has been reached. So again, the water rises inside the jar because the air molecules outside is pushing it in. So this is how our experiment works.